FASA General Body, current e-board members, and fellow candidates. My name is Aquino. I'm a double major in biology and vocal performance, and I will be running for FASA's secretary position. To start off, there have been many doubts for me personally leading up to my decision for running. But the one thing that trumped all of those doubts was how the FASA community made me feel. The feeling of being at home. Growing up, I never really felt like I belonged anywhere to an organization or a group, but the amazing presence of FASA members really took that feeling and flipped it. I've made friends that I talk to on a daily basis. I didn't step, but I jumped out of my comfort zone, and I met people who I respect, admire, and look up to. Most importantly, I reconnected and fell even more in love with my Filipino culture, all thanks to FASA. I consider myself very connected to my faith, and I strongly believe one of the main purposes God put me on this earth to do was to serve those around me. As for my skill set, I believe I may possess experiences and skills that could fit well with the secretary position. One of my current leadership roles is my involvement in CFCY, which stands for Couples for Christ Youth. I've been part of that community for almost 7 years now. When I was 15, I became the music ministry head of my chapter, North Baltimore. Usually I would have a counterpart, but for the first 2 years, I was in the position on my own. Not only did that improve and really test my leadership, but it showed me the importance and the value of working with and utilizing the time, treasures, and talents of the people around me. Being on e-boards to me doesn't mean dictating, micromanaging, or bossing others around just because you have a leadership position. It means combining your skill set with others in order to improve and successfully complete any given task as a team. It is an executive person, it's executive board, and before any big leadership roles, I've had experience being the little guy in the back, just listening. Though I believe listening is a great quality, there are always going to be times where people need to step up. If I were to be secretary, it would not be my first rodeo with fundraising, emails, note-taking, or anything of the sort. Every week, I send out announcements to my household members and core music men of upcoming events with our ministry. For the last 4 years, I'd gather 30 to 60 members to sing caroling arrangements I created during the Christmas season to raise funds for conference. All in all, it totaled up to $15,000 in funds. We even partnered up with our church, who offered to pay for our registration fee last year. In return, we'd carol for our church to give back. Besides CFCY, one of the biggest things I hold dear to my heart is community service, which I feel I'd be able to help FASA expand their footprint in. I've been involved in retirement home performances, parish cleanups, and community dinner services. I believe FASA has the capability of taking advantage of how huge of an organization we are to give back to our community even more than we already are doing now. Other things I've been involved with include the Teacher Academy of Maryland program as my high school magnet major and working as an assistant master at White Tiger Taekwondo. The TAM program has taught me many things, but the most important thing I took away from it was organization. Being secretary wouldn't be too far off from the note-taking I would do during my student-teacher internship, in which I had to evaluate my mentor and how she taught her class, write reflections on it every single week, and relay information back to my fellow classmates. Hopefully, this would be useful for note-taking during EBMs or sending out emails. For Taekwondo, I have done it for 11 years and was part of the leadership program for 8. Before I officially started working for them on the mats teaching, I trained behind the desk, knowing how to deal with parents who were customers, filing student records and bell testing forms, and storing, auditing, and keeping track of money payments of anything in the school store. I've helped fundraise for them as well with demo team shows at Port Discovery or town festivals. I hope this would be helpful in keeping track of FASA inventory and collaborating with places to fundraise. To conclude, one of the biggest things I want to emphasize, though, is that despite what I've done in the past, I acknowledge that I'm not perfect, but those imperfections give me room to grow. I want to be a better team player, but I also want to be better at contributing my ideas to situations. Most importantly, though, I want to learn to give back. I want to learn to know what it feels like to make someone else who is new feel comfortable, welcome, and happy at FASA, just as I did when I met Anne, your current treasurer. I want to be a person who meets that shy, doubting, uncomfortable girl who has no sense of where she belongs and make her jump out of her comfort zone, reconnect with her Pinoy pride, and call FASA home and family. And best believe I'll continue to cake pop, pop, pop my heart out in everything I do with this organization. Thank you for your time, thank you for listening, and I hope you consider me for this year's secretary position.